Okay.
There we go.
My name is J. Robert Leach. I'm the chair of the Washington State Public Disclosure Commission, and I'll be the presiding officer today at the May 1st, 2025 brief adjudicative hearing calendar. And before we start dealing with any of the cases, we are going to have a brief introduction from Colin Pepples. Peoples, how do you say it, Colin?
It is Peoples.
Peoples,
Much
okay.
like people, but spelled a little
Yeah,
differently.
but spelled differently just to throw me a curve. Okay, go ahead.
Well, thank you. Today's brief adjudicative proceeding concerns 2023 candidates who lost their election, whom PDC staff allege have violated RCW 4217A, 235, and 240 for failing to file or timely file a required receipts and expenditure summary C4 report that was due to be filed with the PDC during the 2023 election cycle. PDC staff have identified cases that were resolved through receipt of a signed statement of understanding and the filing of the missing report. A list of resolved cases is appended to this document.
Thank you. Are we ready to proceed with Jordan's cases?
I think we might have a participant here
All right.
for one of those cases.
Who would that be?
I believe Lizzie Lund, can you maybe unmute your microphone and let us know if you...
That's our reporter.
Oh, never mind. Thank you. We can continue.
All right.
All right, then I am ready.
All right. Let me swear in everyone who's going to be presenting today. Do each of you affirm under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Washington that all testimony you give in this proceeding shall be the truth?
I do.
I do. I do.
Thank you. We'll first hear then from Jordan Campbell.
All right, so this is going to be PDC cases 150338 Harry Rabb, 154799 Andre Karen, 154808 Donald Davis, 154832 Mike Spranger, 154835 Randy Schaefer, 154843 Roger Dale Pence, 154845 Scott Jackson, 154849 Stephanie Scott, 154851 Tristan Smith, 154854 we see Amanda Lee, 154855 Wilbur Hart, 160567 Sonia Lund, 151258 Rosalind McCarter. Staff is alleging these respondents violated RCW 42.17a.235 and RCW 42.17a.240 by failing to file the post-election C4 report for election year 2023. The C4 report was due to be filed with the PDC no later than December 11th, 2023. These respondents have not filed their C4 reports, and none of them have prior violations. None of these respondents are participating in today's hearing, nor are they providing a written testimony. Staff recommends you find a violation of RCW 42.17a.235 and RCW 42.17a.240 against these respondents for failing to file the C4 reports and assess an appropriate penalty in accordance with WAC 390-37-143 for a filer with no prior violations who failed to file the C4 report prior to today's hearing. The base penalty for this violation is $150. I'm available if you have any questions.
I do have a question. Were these individuals offered memorandums of understanding?
Yes, they were.
And was there a financial penalty associated with them?
No.
Okay.
There was no penalty.
Then I am ready to make a decision, I am going to find that each of these individuals violated RCW 4217A 235 and RCW 4217A 240 by failing to file the post-general election C4 report before today's hearing. For each, I'm going to impose a base or a penalty of $250 with $150 of it suspended on the conditions that the unsuspended portion of the fine is paid within 30 days of the written order, that there are no further violations during each individual's current term of office.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that takes us then to Tabitha Townsend's two cases. We have the reporter from the Tacoma Tribune here, so she's able to hear the proceeding. All right. Then why don't we proceed
Chair.
with...
Chair,
Pardon?
can I ask a clarifying question on your last
Yes. Go ahead.
finding? You said term of office. I believe these were candidates who did not win election, if I remember right. Is that correct, Jordan and Colin?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh. Well, then I'll amend my finding and make it have no further violations for the next 2 years, so that if they do run for office again the next 2 years.
Great. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that here. All right, well, that takes us to Tabitha Townsend will be presenting the case of William Burkett.
Yes, and so this is PDC case 166096 against William Bo Burkett. The PDC staff is alleging that Mr. Burkett, who is the mayor of the city of Buckley, has violated RCW 4217A 710 for failure to disclose debt on the personal financial affairs statement, or F1 report, that was filed on February 27th, 2024, covering calendar year 2023. I'll give a brief background. I won't go into all the details that's in the memo, but the debt threshold for disclosure on the F1 report is $2,400, and that's outlined in RCW 4217A 710. The total debt that should be included on the F1 for calendar year 23 is $13,850 without any of the collection fees or interest that was possibly at issue during the period.
These are the outstanding principal amounts of previous fines imposed.
Thank you. Much better way to say that. And then just wanted to state that the Pierce County Superior Court order covering 2 of these cases that have outstanding penalties included here. The court order affirmed the $11,000 in penalties for those 2 cases and issued 12% interest annually. However, that annual interest would not have accrued, I don't believe, as of the date of the reporting. It would have been in 2024. Collection agency fees and interest also have likely accrued, but we did not receive that information prior to the memo being issued. I do have it now if you're interested, but
Don't need it.
not really relevant. And then I wanted to note that I did have one brief conversation with Mr. Burkett during the process of this case. Explained to him, the requirement. He stated that he did not believe the debt was valid and therefore would not be including it on his F1s. I did check the current F1 that was just filed in April, and it was not included there either. I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any questions and I'm prepared to rule. I
Oh.
am, go ahead.
Sorry,
something else?
I had it noted here, the recommended penalty for first occasion of violation for 710 would be $150.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm prepared to rule. I'm going to find that William Burkett has violated RCW 4217A 710 by failing to disclose the principal amount of the debts that he owed to the Washington State Public Disclosure Commission as of the date of the calendar year end of 2023. I am going to impose a penalty of $1,000. I'm going to suspend $900 of that on the condition that the mayor either pay all outstanding fines within 30 days of the date of the written order, or alternatively, that he have entered into a written payment plan with the commission accepted by staff within that same 30-day period. You have any, you're muted.
Sorry,
You
just
have
making sure I got that completely. So the condition is to make sure that the fines that are owed or outstanding are paid within the 30 days, as well as the non-suspended amount,
Right,
or
and
that there's the written payment plan.
I'm giving him an alternative if he doesn't have the resources to pay that all at once, to enter a written payment plan that is approved by staff within the 30 days, so that we don't have somebody waltzing in with a proposal on the 30th day that we haven't seen at the commission.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, that I think gets us to Jennifer Hansen's case. Randall S. Johnson, you have the floor.
I'm sorry about that delay.
No problem.
So yes, this matter is regarding Randall S. Johnson. This is PDC case 155417. Mr. Johnson was a candidate for Clallam County Commissioner in the 2024 election. Staff alleges that he violated RCW 4217A235 and RCW 4217A240 by failing to timely file a C4 report, specifically the C4 report covering July 25th to August 31st of 2024 that was due no later than September 10th, 2024. This was required because Mr. Johnson had registered under the full reporting option. He was an incumbent candidate and won the election in the November 5th, 2024 election. Mr. Johnson has filed several C4 reports, including some that were part of prior complaints. On June 11th, 2024, PDC staff received the first of many complaints filed by Mr. Connor Edwards, alleging that Mr. Johnson had violated 4217A 235 and 240 for failing to timely and accurately file C4 reports, specifically for the one for the month of May 2024. And between July 19th, 2024 and January 29th of 2025, PDC staff received 6 additional supplemental complaints filed by Mr. Edwards, alleging subsequent violations of the same sections of law, 4217A, 235 and 240 for late reporting and missing information on reports filed by the 2024 Johnson campaign. Staff reached out to Mr. Johnson several times, providing him, of course, copies of the complaints, requesting responses, and also requesting that he file or correct the missing reports. As of today, the reports have been the C4 reports have been filed. There is the one missing report, which is the one that staff has brought to you today. Staff has requested that Mr. Johnson file that missing report and provided him the opportunity to receive assistance from staff if necessary to go ahead and file that report. And Mr. Johnson has not responded by submitting the report and has not submitted any materials or decided to participate today. Mr. Johnson, as I mentioned, did win the election. So this report is more pertinent maybe to the public than if he had lost. Mr. Johnson has no prior violations. Staff would recommend that you find a violation in this case of 4217A 235 and 240 against and find a violation against Mr. Johnson for not filing that report that was due on September 10th, 2024, and assess an appropriate penalty. And for, according to WAC 390-37-143, an appropriate penalty for a first-time offense for someone who has not filed a report before today's hearing and not submitted any materials for the chair to review and not participated in the hearing, that would start at $150. And I would like to, as the staff member doing this investigation, like to request that the filing of the missing report be included as part of the order if possible.
Okay, thank you. I'm prepared to rule. I'm going to find that Randall S. Johnson violated RCW 4217A 235 and 240 by failing to file the C4 reports as described in the complaint. I am going to impose a penalty of $250 and suspend $200 of it upon several conditions. The first is that he file any missing report within 30 days of the written order. The second is that he have no further reporting violations for the next 4 years. And the final one is that he pay the unsuspended part of the fine within the 30 days after the date of the written order. Any questions?
No, thank you very much.
Okay, that gets us to the reporting modification part of our calendar. And we first are going to have a brief presentation from Jennifer Hansen, Compliance Officer, about reporting modification requests.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So the modification request that is on the agenda today is regarding an exemption or modification to the personal financial affairs statement that was submitted by an elected or appointed official. The commission has the authority to exempt a filer from any portion of the filing requirements under their law, which is 4217A or their WAC 390. And the ones that are most common are the ones like we're hearing today regarding the F1s.
Thank you. That'll take us then to the request of Clay Norris, and Jennifer Hansen will be presenting the request.
Yes, and before I start, Kim and I were having some communication here, and this is meant to address a question that you had asked before, Mr. Chair, about the amount of time that Mr. Norris, the discussion we had about Mr. Norris's time in office. And so the information that I provided to you indicated that he had held office for 42 days. He had actually, it appears, had held office a little bit earlier than that, but was in a jurisdiction that did not have a filing obligation with us. So this is connected to the F1 report that he filed when he was required to do so. So there was a merger that occurred that moved that jurisdiction from an N jurisdiction, so a non-reporting jurisdiction, to a jurisdiction that had enough registered voters that they were now required to file the F1. So I wanted to clarify that.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So this request is from Clay Norris, and it is a new request. Mr. Norris was a fire commissioner for Skagit County Regional Fire Authority. He held office from October 1st through November 12th, 2024. Mr. Norris is requesting to not disclose I should say he's requesting a partial exemption from disclosing business and other governmental customers that paid $12,000 or more during the 2024 time period that his F1 covers for his spouse's business interests. His spouse is an officer or partial owner for Pioneer Today LLC, Modern Homesteading Events LLC, and Homestead Living Inc. Mr. Norris's spouse serves as CEO for Pioneer Today, Director of Marketing and Content for Modern Homesteading Events, and is a 33% owner of Homestead Living. Mr. Norris indicated that his duties as a former fire commissioner had no connection to his spouse's businesses. In addition, he stated that he has no knowledge or access to his wife's business customers. He went on to say that even if such information was available to him for disclosure, it would cause an unreasonable hardship created it would create an unreasonable hardship due to the large number of potential customers. And he's indicated an estimate of over 25,000. Mr. Norris has confirmed that that none of these entities publicly disclose their customer lists, nor do they have the ability to sort the customers for disclosure purposes. And there were no payments. He also confirmed that there were no payments made by Skagit County Regional Fire Authority to any of the three entities that his wife is connected to. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. I'm going to grant the request and find that under the unique circumstances of this case, the requirements of the statute have been satisfied by the showing made.
Thank you.
Is there anything further that anyone has to present today or that we need to deal with before we adjourn?
Tabitha, I think, had one clarifying question on the Burkett matter. Tabitha, do you want to ask?
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't think of it earlier, Chair Leach, but would we include in the order the condition that he amend his F1 to include the debt as well?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure and have that clear here in the record.
Well, I'm going to add one more condition, and that in any F1s filed during the next 4 years, he include an accurate statement of the principal and accrued interest owed on any obligation to the Public Disclosure Commission to the extent the sum of those obligations totals more than $2,400.
Okay. Thank you.
Just so everyone's clear on it, I don't want him saying it's $1,000 on this one, $1,000 on this one, and $750 on this one, so I don't have to list it. It's the aggregate of what he owes. I think that's important information for people reviewing the forms of people running and holding office.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Hope you get a chance to go out and enjoy a little bit of the sunshine, since this is supposed to be the nicest day so far of the year, and we'll be adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Chair.